Hello and welcome to the first video in a series of lectures on generative modeling. In this video, I will introduce sampling and answer the question, what is sampling? The purpose of this video is to provide an intuitive understanding of sampling, and the introduction is in no way mathematically rigorous. To this end, let's consider the experiment of tossing a coin. In this experiment, we have two possible outcomes, heads and tails. Suppose the coin is biased and the probability of a head is 0.6 and the probability of obtaining a tail is 0.4. Then sampling is a method by which you can generate a series of outcomes of this experiment. In this case, either a head or a tail infinitely, such that if I were to pick an outcome from the series at random, then the probability of me picking a head would be 0.6 and the probability of me picking a tail would be 0.4. We can extend this intuition to the continuous case. For example, let's consider the exponential distribution, where p of x is equal to lambda e raised to minus lambda x when x is greater than or equal to 0, and 0 when x is less than 0. Again, sampling corresponds to a method by which we can generate outcomes x1, x2, x3, etc. such that if I divide the x-axis into intervals or bins and compute a histogram using the generated samples, then it would have a form as such, where the trend of the histogram follows the trend of the underlying distribution from which we are sampling. Now, one of the reasons why I started this series with sampling is because it's an important concept which comes up a lot in generative modeling. A typical example is when you want to compute expectations. Let's say you're interested in computing the expectation of some function g under the probability distribution p, which can be written as integral p of x g of x dx. Now, what you will often find is that estimating this integral is computationally intractable. And what you will end up doing is obtaining a Monte Carlo estimate, which can be written as 1 by n sigma I goes from 1 to n g of xi, where these xi's are obtaining by sampling from the distribution under which you are computing the expectation. Now that sums up the introduction on sampling. In the next few videos, we will look into some methods by which we can sample from distributions. See you in the next video.